rip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels scream and spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this evening from USA International Speedway. It is the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go. As we're going to get ready to set these drivers loose, we're going to get ready to go to battle. As first, we're going to bring in the driver of the number 57, Jim Revis here, the owner-operator here of DWRL. He is the man that got this all started 7 years ago. Let's get Jim up here for a quick pre-race interview. I can't drag Jim out of that channel, so unfortunately, we're not going to get Jim in here. I was going to try to pull Jim Revis up here into the booth, but I cannot pull him in as he is in a locked channel, and I cannot drag the man out of the locked channel. So, Jackie, brother, I saw your messages. I wanted to try to get that rolling. I wanted to get him in here for pre-race interviews, but I just cannot drag him out of that locked channel. Son of a gun. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here we go. We're going to get ready to set these drivers loose no matter what here this evening, as each and every one of these drivers ready to go to battles. Amy Marie Stefanski with the heart reaction. Mama Bear Susie Dickinson coming in with that heart reaction, as well as Dave Morgan. My boy Joshua Neal coming in, dropping that thumbs up here on the broadcast. As ladies and gentlemen, we'll get ready to rock and roll. Practice here, the warm-up session quickly coming to a close, and that means we'll get ready for our main feature event here this evening. 65 laps of racing action here at USA International Speedway, as there is that checkered flag. Practice has come to a close, and that means we will get ready to rumble here this evening. Oh man, this could be a lot of fun, as Dave Morgan says, let's go Sextons, cheering on all the Sextons here this evening, as the Sextons ready to rock and roll. Amy Marie Stefanski says, Stefanski boys, rock and roll, cheering on all the Stefanski rides here this afternoon. As here we go, drivers getting lined up on the front straightaway. We get ready to set them loose. Is Mama Bear, how are you, Mama Bear? He's coming in, showing the love. Says, hello, Aaron, my boy. Hello, Mama Bear. Listen, Mama Bear, I meant to message you the other day. Happy Mother's Day, Mama Bear. Happy Mother's Day. If anyone deserves it, it's yourself. I didn't even message my own mother. I actually completely forgot that it was even Mother's Day until it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and then it was way too late to want to send messages out, so we decided that we would just do it another day. As here we go, ready to rock and roll, and starting on the pole in the number 05 machine, that is Jordan Gage. Gage will start in that top position here this evening to his outside in that 20 ride. It is the Doghouse Racing Sexton's paint and body machine. It's Philip Sexton who will start there in position number 2. And then we see Jeremy Sexton and Douglas Stewart there in 3rd and 4th, as it looks like our front row are both going to get in EOL. So Philip Sexton to the back of the pack, and that number 05 of Jordan Gage also fallen to the rear here in this one. Tough break for both of those drivers. We look back through the field. It's now Jim Revis who will start there in third. It's the 7X of Jacob Stefanski there in position number 4. Tyson Pankow and Bryce Dickinson bringing up row number 3 with Jacob Sexton and Kyle Surratt there in row number 4. Row number 5 is the 720 of Jackie Whaley and the 11 of Kyle Moyer rounding out our top 10. Cameron Stefanski, Dakota Proud, Stephen Burrow, Nathan Trepo, Zachary Clark, Jacob Johnson, Marcos Pace, Evan Stefanski, Jamie Massey, Philip Sexton, Lon Franks, and Jordan Gage bringing up the rear of the field here as 22 drivers getting ready to duke it out. 22 drivers getting ready to go to battle here in this one as we'll get that overlay working here and rolling this afternoon so that everyone can enjoy and see where their favorite drivers are out there on the racetrack. It's 65 laps of racing action is Charles Barnes. What's good, Charles? Charles says, let's go HNL boys. Cheering on all the HNL rides. His Mama Bear coming in says, let's go Bryce Dickinson and let's go Jamie Massey. Cheering on Bryce and Jamie out there on the Speedway. As here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we will end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as the pace truck down and off of the racetrack, and we are gonna set them loose here at USA International Speedway. We are quickly green flag racing here this afternoon. It's another edition of the Wednesday Night Street Fights powered by the Dirt Warrior Racing League as door to door for the race lead down the back straightaway. It is that 2020 ride, the Doghouse Chassis Machine. It is Jacob Sexton looking to try to pick up another big win here in the DWRL. He was able to get the win last Friday night, and here tonight he is looking to capture the dub as they're piling up on the front straightaway. Look out, caution flag on the racetrack. Stephen Baru collected in it. Jackie Whaley in the 720 ride, the DWR iRacing iFlag Evo 1 Graphics JRE machine tore up down here into corner number 1. Let's take a look back and see what happens to this BladeNode.com Evo 1 graphics ride as Jackie gets turned around. A lot of drivers end up with some pretty good damage in it as him and Stephen Baru. Unfortunately here, contact out of corner number 4 as they're 3 wide racing here out of corner number 4 on the opening lap. A little contact there between that 2 ride and the 19 at Dakota Proud, and they see the 720 just gets a little loose here in the 45 right down low as well. Just gets a little wild out of the corner and unfortunately comes up the track over the nose of Jackie Whaley. That bit of contact just gets him kind of unsettled, and as he's trying to catch that car, he gets a big shove, a big bump from behind here from that number 2 ride, and that's just going to make things even worse as there's that contact between the 720 and the 45 right now. Jackie trying to collect it, trying to keep this thing pointing the right direction until here comes that shove from the Sunrise Racing number 2 back down the track into that TNT Racing number 45 ride, and that's just going to get him sideways over the nose here of Jackie Whaley. Pretty hard contact for both those drivers. You do see the 727 ride, the Evo 1 graphics number 727 machine of Zachary J. Clark gets a little contact into that one, but getting the worst end of that deal is definitely that 720 ride of Jackie Whaley. Pretty heavy front end damage, and unfortunately going to lose all that track position after starting up in the 9th position. Now starts all the, we're going to restart all the way back here at the rear of the field. We also saw Douglas Stewart go down pit side here, so Stewart all of a sudden he is going to be back deeper in the field here as well. We'll see if he tries to renegotiate with the admin crew and see if he can try to get his spot back and jump back up there towards the front of the field. Doesn't look like that is going to happen, so Stewart will be back here deep in the pack as well. So Jeremy Sexton out in front now has Jacob Stefanski there to his outside. Tyson Pankow, that beautiful Bulletproof Motorsports Dirt Track Junkies 91 ride there behind him is actually, there we go, Jim will go behind him in third. That is the 91 of Tyson Pankow to his outside. Bryce Dickinson now inside the top 5 is Kyle Surratt, Kyle Moyer, Jacob Sexton, Marcos Pace, and Cameron Stefanski round out our top 10 here this evening. Zach Clark back there in that 727 right in the beautiful KC Speedworks No Team No Love Elite Racing Industries number 29 ride. That is a Lane Phillips throwback paint scheme here that Jamie Massey is running here tonight in tribute there of Mr. Lane Phillips, and looking beautiful as always. Now looking to try to get that throwback paint scheme into victory lane here this evening. As here we go, back to Green Flag Racing. Green Flag quickly back out into the air for the Tommy Gun Customs 2020 ride as Jeremy Sexton out in front, looking to try to keep all these drivers back there at bay. As Jacob Stefanski trying to hang with them, Jim Remis trying to jump up and clear that 91 right of Tyson Pankamp, but they'll battle back down into core number 3. Door to door as up through that middle groove. The 91 Ryan looking for a big run out of core number 4, but he is going to see that caution flag fly, and it's all going to be for naught. As it looks like Stephen Baru going to run into some more issues here in this one, as him and Lon Franks look like they get tied together as Stephen down low sends it into the corner, and not sure. Oh, there's a little contact there in front of him. He has to get checked up for it. Unfortunately, Lon Franks right there, and again, another chain reaction, just the accordion effect here at USA International Speedway. Let's see if we can get another angle at this one and see the contact here as the Kangaroo Express ride. Just unfortunately, you see that contact between the 20 machine of Philip Sexton and Douglas Stewart, and then they're stacking up in front of them. Here comes Lon Franks, not expecting everyone to be checking up down here through the middle of the corner, and unfortunately, not enough time to react. Drives into that left rear quarter panel of that TNT Racing number 45 riding around goes Stephen Baru here this evening. Some tough breaks right there, heavy hits there for the DWR iRacing iFlag machine of Franks, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. As Mama Bear says, let's go Lane Phillips. It's not Lane Phillips out there, Mama Bear. It looks like Lane Phillips. That is a Lane Phillips paint scheme, but that is Jamie Massey behind the wheel of that 29 ride here today. Another beautiful paint scheme there, a beautiful throwback to one of the racing people that came up with him here in iRacing, and he's been doing this last few weeks. We talked to him a few times up here in Victory Lane and up in the broadcast booth about these paint schemes and how they kind of, just trying to give back a little bit and show the love and support that other people and teammates and friends and family that have shown to him. And here he is rolling another amazing throwback paint scheme here to another one of his teammates back in the day. And Zach Clark right behind him. Always good to see that race on Texas. Forever 41, number 727, right? The Forever 41 sticker on the back bumper, man. We love that. Rest in peace, Jason Johnson. Always Forever 41. Jason Johnson, such an amazing driver, man. We got our Jason Johnson sweater somewhere in the other room, somewhere in there. We wear it every once in a while here on the broadcast. We always love wearing that beautiful, beautiful Jason Johnson t-shirt. As here we go, getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. My boy Adam Oxley. What's good, Oxley? Oxley coming in with that like on the stream. What's good, Adam? How are you this afternoon, brother? As here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Is down at a corner number 4. That 2020 rider Jeremy Sexton will see that green flag fly here once again. Quickly back onto the loud pedal and looking to try to open up a lead here between himself and Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski trying to hang right there with him, as still door to door back there. This battle for that third position continues to range on as Jim Remis and Tyson Pankow just running inches apart here, door to door out there on the racetrack, and right behind them they are still stacked up 2 by 2 by 2 back there behind him. And look out, another driver turn around. That is Philip Sexton. Philip Sexton pointed in the wrong direction. No caution flag as of yet, and there it is. Caution flag will finally come out as Philip Sexton gets tied up in it. I do believe we saw Evan Stefanski potentially getting tied up here as well in that 3 machine, or actually I do believe that's Evan Stefanski in the 22 ride, who's going to end up with some pretty serious damage right here. As it looks like Evan just kind of, I don't know if he comes down or if the 22 kind of comes up, but nonetheless they end up making a little bit of contact there, and same case scenario that we've seen here time and time again already here this afternoon, just getting up the track and unfortunately into that left rear quarter panel will knock these cars right around, and that's exactly what we see as the 22 gets up into that 20 ride. Lon Franks right there. Unfortunately, he doesn't really see what's happening to his outside as he sees that 22 ride, and then all of a sudden he sees the 20 parked there right right in front of him, and then heavy contact here between the 20 and the 22, the 10 right. All three of these drivers getting some pretty serious damage, and for Evan, that car is getting absolutely tore to shreds as the 20 right parked up and onto his nose. As they'll get lined back up here, they'll get racked up as all three of these cats will head down pit side, looking to get some repairs, looking to try to get their cars fixed back together, and it looks like they will all get their machines back into one piece. And then we do see Jacob Stefanski heading down pit road here. So Stefanski coming from position number 2, he's headed down pit side. This is a bit of an interesting one here. Out of the 7 machine as he's going to come down pit road, and I'm not sure if he was getting fuel or what he was doing there, but nonetheless, it's a bit of a head scratcher right there. We'll have to see if we can get that 7X right up here if he joins us for the broadcast later in this race, and what his thoughts were with that one. I don't know, can you do tire changes here at USA International Speedway? I'm not sure if you can or can't. That's an interesting one. As Justin Motherfluffin Johnson, what in the world are we talking about? JJ coming in and just setting it off like that. Are you kidding me, brother? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the big Motherfluffin D of the day, Justin Johnson, with the 500-star dono, the 500 big ones up in the chat over there on Facebook, setting it off here this evening. Justin, I appreciate you, brother. The love and the support that you continue to show, brother, absolutely insane, and we can't thank you enough, my boy, coming in and showing the big love here in this one, brother. One of these nights, we're gonna have to get you hooked up with, I don't know, maybe a video or something, or some photos of that race car of yours or something. We'll have to get something figured out for you. Man, oh man, oh man, absolutely insane. You continue to just show the love and the support and everything else. And if you haven't and you want to, man, and show even more love and support, hit that subscribe button. Hit that little green button, that little badge, and earn yourself that badge of being one of the amazing supporters over there on the Facebook channel. As here we go, back to Green Flag Racing, as Jeremy Sexton out in front, continuing to just hit these restarts perfectly. He times another one up and quickly gets a great jump there, as you do see Tyson Pankow now up into second. Jim Remis will settle back into third here. Is now Kyle Surratt looking to try to work to his outside. Bryce Dickinson trying to hang on to that 5th position, as Kyle Moyer and Jamie Massey right there ready to pounce, trying to work their way to the front of the field, as Jamie trying to work himself inside the top 5 after starting deep in the field here this evening. Cameron Stefanski there in 8th with Jacob Sexton back there in 9th. He's got Marco's Paints, another one of those Tommy Gun custom paint schemes out there on the racetrack in that 05 of Jordan Gage there as well. Good to see Gage back out there on the racetrack as Jordan continues to run back here just outside the top 10, trying to work his way back inside the top 10, battling here with a few of his Kentucky Floyd Consulting teammates out there on the racetrack. It's Marco's Pace and the 101 ride of Jacob Sexton and Jordan Gage, all part of the Kentucky Floyd Consulting team, as the Get a Bumper Motorsports Gage Farms number 05 ride rolls down to the inside here, now inside the top 10, as he just took that 10th position away from his teammate in that 101. Douglas Stewart back there as well in that beautiful number 3 machine, trying to work his way up towards the front of the field here once again, and Zachary Clark there in position number 13. And then we see that beautiful white knuckle setup shops Sunrise Racing number 19 right up Dakota Proud there in 14th. Nathan Trepo, the Witch Doctor. Good to see Trepo out there on the speedway as well, as that beautiful 42 ride rolls there in 15th. Lon Frank's working his back bumper. That 22 of Evan Stefanski, Jacob Stefanski back there in that 18th spot now in the Sunrise Racing ride, as Philip Sexton, Jackie Whaley bringing up the rear of the field here in this one. As Jeremy Sexton continuing to lead the way. Jeremy out in front, but that beautiful 91 ride of Jeremy of Tyson Pankow right there, looking to try to put the pressure to his back bumper, looking to see if he can find his way around that number 2020 ride and put himself back up into victory lane. It seems like it's been a little while since we've seen one of these Bulletproof Motorsports in the 91 ride of Tyson Pankow up and in victory lane in the dirt side of things. We used to see Tyson be one of the fastest drivers out there on the racetrack and always a contender for race wins, and picking up a lot of wins in this 91 machine on the dirt surface. He's ran a lot of pavement stuff over the last little while. We've seen him up in victory lane in the ARCA rides. We've seen him get the wins in some of the truck series races he's been a part of, but it's been a little while since we saw him up in victory lane in the dirt side of iRacing. And here he is in position number 2. And man, he's got a golden opportunity here today to try to find his way into victory lane. But he's got a lot of fast cats back there behind him trying to inch their way closer and closer to the front of the field. Surratt there in 4th, and right behind him is that 29 ride of Jamie Massey. Massey in the Lane Phillips paint scheme ride here this evening has now joined the top 5 here this evening is Jamie right there on the back bumper of Kyle Surratt for position number 4. Bryce Dickinson slides back into 6 as Kyle Moyer there in 7th, working still trying to get his way underneath the HNL 618 engraving and designs. Mama Bear, Papa Mike Promotions number 84 ride as Brycey Bear rolling right there in that 6th position, trying to keep this car looking pretty out there on the speedway, but still looking to find that extra bit of speed and try to join this battle for the race win here this evening. Moyer right there behind him, and they see that beautiful Sunrise Racing number 2 machine. That is Cameron Stefanski back there in 8th. Jordan Gage now into 9th after getting around another one of his teammates out there as the Cocky Floyd Consulting rides roll right here in 9th, 10th, and 11th. His pace there in 10th. Jacob Sexton back there in 11th. Douglas Stewart now into 12th as Dakota Brown slides back to 13th. Zachary Clark there in 14th. Nathan Trepo, the Witch Doctor, and now the Sunrise Racing ride. Good to see him find another team here, and he's got that Sunrise Racing beautiful Witch Doctor paint scheme rolling up here in position number 15 on the racetrack as Long Frank's back there behind him. Jacob Stefanski, Evan Stefanski, Philip Sexton, and Jackie Whaley all back here bringing up the rear of this 20-car field. As unfortunately Jacob Johnson and Stephen Baru have both taken their rides down and off the racetrack. Tough break there for the TNT Racing number 45 ride here in this one as Josh Ely. What's good, Josh? Josh coming in showing the love as well. Says boo to the Let's Go HNL rides. He says boo, boo. He says boo HNL, boo, boo. No, just kidding. As Ricky Chandler, what's good, Ricky? Ricky coming in showing the love with the like on the stream. What's good, Ricky? My boy Jeremy Vaughn. What's good, Jeremy? Jeremy Vaughn coming in showing the love, and again my boy Mr. Johnson coming in showing the big love here in this one. Not only coming in with the 500-star dono, being that big D of the day, but also coming in with that heart reaction, showing nothing but love here this evening. Absolutely insane, my boy. Absolutely wow. You know what? We're going to go back up and we're going to pin that 500-star dono. Absolutely insane. Let's get that pinned up here. As always appreciate the love and support, and Justin always showing the big love and says, let's go, baby. It's Jeremy Sexton out in front, continuing to lead the way here in this one. Tyson Pankow right there in second, though, has not let him run away with it, but it's the 2020 ride just playing a little bit of a cat and mouse game as he just trying to manage this gap and have that 91 ride roll back there behind him, maybe try to burn up his equipment a little bit too much, try to hunt him down, maybe try to find a way around this 2020 ride. And for Jeremy, could just be in his marks, taking it nice and easy, trying to save some tire here, and if the push came to shove, he could just lay down that throttle, find that extra speed, and just pull away from that 91 ride again. And if they're on the racetrack, we've seen it time and time again there for Jeremy. We've seen it work out in his favor, and sometimes it has not, as Tyson Pankow continues to work right there to his back bumpers. Maybe Pankow just has that better car. Maybe he just has that speed out of this 91 ride, and just looking and finding, trying to search around the speedway now for a little bit of extra gear, a little bit of extra grip, and trying to take this race lead away from that 2020 ride. Jim Ravis having a great run. Now Jim's starting to catch up to both of these guys as he's right there in third. Kyle Surratt there in fourth. Massey back there in position number 5 with Bryce Dickinson in that HNL. Papa Mike Promotions number 84 right there in 6. Moyer, Cameron Stefanski, Jordan Gage, and Marcos Pace rounding out our top 10 here on the racetrack as Jordan Gage did get that EOL, had to start at the back of the pack here in that 05 ride. He has navigated his way back up into 9th here, so he's marching his way up and through the field. And Jamie Massey also got an EOL to start this race. He was going to start in that 3rd position, but virtually our top 3 drivers all had EOLs to start this race here this evening. Massey was going to start there in 3rd. He had to go to the back of the pack. Jordan Gage was going to start in the pole position. He had to go to the rear of the field. And for the number 20 ride of Philip Sexton, he also had to go to the rear of the field here to start this race, and now he's got tied up in a couple different wrecks and some pretty good damage, missing that front bumper off that 20 ride, and rolls back here in the 19th position as it looks like Zach Clark has all of a sudden lost connection and has left the racing surface as well. So Zach Clark has now left the building, and the 727 Race on Texas ride no longer out there on the Speedway. Heartbreaker there for Zach Clark, as we always love seeing Zach out there on the racetrack. Another fellow announcer out there, and obviously he does the real life stuff, but he says that this iRacing stuff is a lot tougher than doing it in real life. I've been trying it in real life. Hopefully someday I'll get that opportunity, but I'll have to take his word for it, man. But I feel like, man, doing it in real life, the stress and everything else and the anxiety of having, you know, the 2,000-3,000 people tuning in and watching and being live in the crowd and everything else, man, it's got to be a little bit more stressful, but maybe a little bit slower, maybe a little slower. You got a little bit more time in between races and everything else to talk and chat and talk about things, and maybe some extra help up there in the broadcast booth on, you know, notes and everything else, where don't really have any of those, man. We just go right off the top of the dome and just keep on rolling with it as Jeremy Sexton out in front, continuing to lead the way. We do see Jim Revis has now found his way in that iRacing iFlag DWR number 57 right around that 91 of Tyson Pankow. Pankow is now slid back into position number 3. So for that Bulletproof Motorsports 09 laser engraving, Dirt Track Junkies number 91, he's back into 3rd as Jim Revis there in 2nd. Now Jim is going to look to try to go after this 2020 ride, and what a win it would be here for Jim Revis. I got a message earlier. We were trying to pull Jim Revis up and into the broadcast booth here this evening, and unfortunately we are going to see, you can't get Jim up here because, yeah, Jim is in a locked channel over there in that Discord, so I can't actually pull Jim in. But Jackie says, you know, he's been doing DWR for 7 years, doing these races. I think it would be pretty cool if we can do it before qualifying. What do you think? Just grab him out of Discord if it's possible. Thanks. Yeah, we tried, Jackie. We tried to get him in here, but yeah, 7 years, and I think they've been doing the league racing and being a part of different leagues. I think for Jackie, for going on like 20 years or something now, from way back in the day, him and a lot of these guys, a lot of his group, you know, started him doing, you know, different simulators and everything else way back in like 2004, 2005, something like that. It's been a long time that Jackie Whaley has been in the scene here with the sim racing and racing in general, and it's awesome to see Jim still doing this, still putting time and effort not only into making amazing paint schemes, but being a part of the community and also being a part of this league and putting on these amazing shows. So huge shout out there to Jim Revis, and the Grumpy Graphics ride rolls back there in position number 2 right now. What it would mean to pick up the win here today for that 57 ride. It would be awesome to see him find his way up and into victory lane again here this evening. As look out, some contact back there behind him. The 91 of Tyson Pankow and the number 18 of Kyle Surratt get tied together. Unfortunately, both drivers into the outside fence. For the 91 ride of Pankow, he sits there in position number 3, but down low. Now has that 29 of Jamie Massey looking to try to take position number 3 away from him. For Kyle Surratt, the coach, he slides back at least 3 spots on the racetrack. Now sits back in position number 7. Potentially a little bit of damage there as well, as now they're going to go 3 wide right here. A little 3 wide action down through corner number 2. And Surratt down on the bottom. Kyle Moyer was down through the middle, and it was Bryce Dickinson right in the rim. In that 618 engraving, HNL Papa Mike Promotions number 84 ride as Bryce rejoins the top 5 here this evening and slides up into that 5th position. Now trying to hunt down that 91 and that 29 of Jamie Massey as Massey continues to work to the inside, looking to try to find his way around Tyson Pankow. But Pankow not backing down one little bit out there on the racetrack as the Doghouse Jaxies. Tommy Gun Custom, Sexton, Paint and Body, the Gonky Floyd Consulting, number 2020 of Jeremy Sexton continues to lead the way here at USA International Speedway as drivers continue to click down these laps, and we edge closer and closer to the checkered flag here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to jump into, as Colorado Avalanche fan says, 4-0 for Florida. Good sir. Oh my gosh. What? 4-0 for Florida. That is absolutely insane. Let's go Florida, baby. Let's go Florida. Listen, I'm a huge hockey fan, and man, it's always amazing. It's always awesome. There's so many Toronto Maple Leafs fans around me, so many Montreal fans around me, and when they lose, it is absolutely amazing. Here we go. Jim Revis looking to make the move. Down low, sliding door to door here with the 29 ride. Or not the 29 ride, the 2020 ride of Jeremy Sexton for the race lead. Jim unfortunately could not get it done. He'll have to settle in. Still for that second spot is down to the high side. Goes that 2020 ride, and up to the high side goes that 57 of Jim Revis as Jeremy starting to move around here, trying to find some different lanes right there through 1 and 2. Found a little extra speed, but I think it kind of surprised that 57 of Jim Revis, as I think Jim was expecting the 2020 to stay in the outside groove. He did not, and Jim really had to get onto the binders right there. Luckily enough, he hangs on to position number 2. He changes his line down through 1 and 2 again. Now looking for that big run as he rides that cushion up on the high side here at USA International Speedway, looking for a big run down the back straightaway to the back bumper here of Jeremy Sexton. Tyson Pankow right there poking his nose back into this battle. Jamie Massey not too far out of it, and Kyle Surratt sliding his way back up inside the top 5 as he battles door to door here with Bryce Dickinson. Moyer back into 7th, Cameron Stefanski there in 8th, the 0-5 Jordan Gage back in 9th with Marcos Pace rounding out our top 10 is my boy Chad Pewterbow. What's good, Chad? Chad coming in says, hey, I had to miss. Let's go DWR, always as great as always. I appreciate that, Chad. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. As Chad Pewterbow coming in with the like on the stream. Papa Michael Dickinson coming in with that heart reaction. Johnny Nolan coming in with the like on the stream. Josh Ely with that like on the stream. Tina Sexton coming in with that heart reaction as well. And my boy Anthony Karf. Anthony coming in, drop that thumbs up here on the broadcast as well. As out in front, continuing to hold on to this race lead, looking to beat that reflection of perfection here this evening. It is this 2020 ride of Jeremy Sexton. As Jim Revis rolls there in second, Tyson Pankow back in third. And then we see Jamie Massey once again trying to hold on to position number 4. It's Kyle Surratt, the coach, finding the lane down low. He is finding a lot of extra speed, and he is working his way back up through the front of the field, and now looking to slide back up into position number 4 as he looks down low on that 29 right now. You see the 84 of Bryce Dickinson. He's just trying to follow that 18 ride right on through as he can see that the coach is finding a little bit of extra speed here. He's finding that extra gear and starting to navigate his way closer and closer to the front of the field. As John, what's good? John Belando coming in showing the love with that like on the stream. John dropping that like on the stream as Jeremy Sexton continues to lead the way. As we are 40 laps through this race, 25 laps left to go. It'll be 24 here in this one as Colorado Avalanche fan says, laugh my ass off. You called it. The score was 3-0 with 10 minutes left. Ah, baby, I knew it. I knew it was going to be. Then 5 minutes later, another goal. Let's go. Let's go, Florida. That's awesome, man. I love seeing Toronto just lose, man, and break the hearts of all those Toronto fans. As a Flyers fan, I know how it feels. It's been since 1975 since the Flyers won a Stanley Cup. We've been so close. We've been to the finals in 2010. We could not win it. We were there multiple times in the 80s and could not get it done. So I'm glad that even with all the amazing talent that they have, they can't do anything with it. It feels good. It feels good. It feels real good. And I hope they lose. And I hope they lose Game 6 and Florida moves on and Toronto packs their banks and heads to the golf course once again. As out in front, it's still this 2020 ride. As Jeremy Sexton continues to lead the way. Jim Revis, Jamie Massey, the 91 rider Tyson Pankow now slides back into position number 4, and Kyle Surratt quickly trying to look to his outside as the pair of Bulletproof Motorsports rides rounding out our top 5 here on the racetrack. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we inch closer and closer to the checkered flag here in this one. We're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. So crank up that volume. Cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. caution flag out on the racetrack. A late race caution flag here in this one for another Wednesday night street fights. A beautiful crank it up session right there, giving us the sights and sounds here in this one. As the Josh Ely says, the crank it up curse. The crank it up curse, it strikes here again this afternoon. As another caution flag late in this race here this evening with 12 laps left to go. Let's take a look back and see what happens and what brings this yellow flag out, as it looks like Jordan Gage in the 0-5. He's going to get collected here in this one. Let's see if we get another look at it here at this 0-5 ride as Gage down low trying to keep on rolling. Looks like the 2 ride's going to get a little piece of him right there, get him loose, and then get into him again and again and again. Finally gets him sideways. They get tight together, and then he gets stopped there on the racetrack after the contact. Now everyone trying to get by him there. Luckily enough, looks like everyone able to get by without too much contact, but we did see a couple drivers there potentially running into some more problems there. Let's see if we can take another look back at this one. Man, that's a tough break right there for Jordan Gage. Heavy contact here between him and that 2 ride. Is not once, not twice, but 3 times did the trick, and finally that number 2 got him turned around, and unfortunately for Cameron Stefanski, that's going to give him a EOL in being a part of that caution flag. Unfortunately not what Jordan Gage wanted, as he was having a good run trying to race his way back up towards the top 5 here, and there's the contact, and there's the contact again and again, and finally around he goes as the get a bumper motorsports ride gets a bumper here in this one. Now everyone trying to get checked up, everyone trying to avoid it here, as you see the 0101 ride, the 101 machine. That is Jacob Sexton. Sexton does go around right there, just trying to avoid it, trying to keep himself out of that trouble and not trying to slide into the side of his teammate here in this one. As let's take a look here at this beautiful Tommy Gun Custom Sexton paint and body, the Hog House chassis ride. It's, there you go, he just sees it and finally gets onto the binders there, gets that car wound up, and around he goes, just trying to get that thing stopped, and luckily enough, no heavy contact there for him. As here we go, back to green flag racing as a late race restart has Jamie Massey and Jeremy Sexton on the front row. In Massey, the control car gets a great launch right there, as Massey was able to edge out in front and take that race lead during the crank it up caution, during the crank it up before that caution flag, and is able to take that race lead, and now looking to try to run away with it as Massey out in front, leading the way here in that Lane Phillips paint schemed ride as John Schmidt. What's good, John? John coming in, showing the love. James Beavers coming in as well, dropping that beautiful like on the stream. Justin Pruitt, what's good, Mr. Pruitt? Justin coming in as well with the like on the stream, and my boy Adam Oxley, Mr. Oxley coming in, show the big love. Shout out there to my boy Adam coming in with the big love with the 200-star bomb in here today. And my boy Josh Ely coming in as well, showing the love and jumping in and dropping some stars as well, coming in with that 100-star dono as well. Huge shout out there to Mr. Adam Oxley and Josh Ely, and again, of course, our favorite team of the day, Justin Johnson, with the 500-star dono earlier here this evening. Huge shout out to all 3 of you guys, man, showing the massive love and support here this evening. As Massey continues to lead the way, we will see that caution flag come back out here in this one, as the caution flag, the yellow back out there on the Speedway, as it looks like the 2 car of Cameron Stefanski going to get tied up in another one. Let's take a look here as Cameron rolling back here a little deeper in the field, and he's going to send it down into corner number 1. Unfortunately, again, looks like he's just going to get in there a little too deep this time as he gets into that 720 ride of Jackie Whaley. Just going to lose that nose and try to get out of him and not trying to spin that 720 ride. He gets onto the binders through that slick stuff, and the car just goes around right here. Gets into that 720 ride, loses the front end there. The rear end just kicks around on him sideways on the racetrack, and that's where we see that caution flag fly. Luckily enough, everyone able to avoid him, and we keep on rolling out there on the racetrack as the caution flag comes back out. Another big restart here for Jamie Massey, and everyone back there behind him to try to knock him out of this top position here today. Is Mr. Ely coming in, setting it off again. What in the world is happening? Josh coming in with another 200-star dono, another 200-star bomb in here in this one. Big shout out to my boy Mr. Ely, again showing the love not once but twice here, coming in with the collective 300-star dono. Brother, I appreciate that. Appreciate the love here this evening as Mr. Ely, Mr. Oxley, Mr. Johnson. You guys are absolutely insane, and I love each and every single one of you. As we get ready to come back and go to battle here in this one, John Schmidt says, come on, Dickinson. You gotta pass those cars if you want to win. He's gotta pass them, John. He's gotta pass him. You tell him, Grandpa Dickinson. You tell him that if he wants to put himself into victory lane, he's gotta make some passes. You can't win the race sitting back here in 7th. Bryce has got to work himself up into that top spot, but he's got to try to pass a lot of fast cats there in front of him. As Marco's pace, Jim Revis, Tyson Pankow, Kyle Surratt now into 3rd. Jeremy Sexton hanging on to 2nd, but it's Jamie Massey out in front, continuing to lead the way as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. The green flag about to come back out here this afternoon as, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here we go. Late race restart. We are going to go to single file restarts being inside of 10 laps left in this race. So single file out there on the racetrack. And as we get rocking and rolling and back to the green flag, it will be 8 laps left to go here in this race. 8 laps left to try to get it done and put yourself up into the DWRL victory lane here at USA International Speedway. As here we go, back to battle as Jamie Massey, a great restart quickly onto the loud pedal, opening up a couple car lengths between himself and that number 2020 ride of Jeremy Sexton. Jeremy trying to hold on to that 2nd spot as Kyle Surratt trying to take it away down through 1 and 2. Has to settle back into 3rd here as now here comes Pankow working right to his back bumper as a pair of those bulletproof motorsports rides rolling there in 3rd and 4th. And I know Tyson Pankow would love to get that Dirt Track Junkies 91 ride up and into victory lane here this evening. We'll see if he's got something left in the tank here as we do see this 47 ride of Marco's pace. Marco's looked like he's been hanging back here a little bit, trying to save some tire here and looking to pounce in now. He works that Tommy Gun Customs Doghouse chassis, that beautiful Cocky Floyd Consulting ride up and into position number 4 as we do see the 91 of Pankow get a piece of that outside fence. Pankow gets into the outside fence and pancakes it pretty hard right there. Jim Revis had to get checked up. Bryce Dickinson almost passed both of them down low as now we see Kyle Moyer get up into the wall there pretty hard down through 1 and 2 as we see that 7X ride. Here comes Jacob Stefanski. Where did he come from? Stefanski racing his way now inside the top 10. Philip Sexton right there as well. He's now into the 11th position with Long Branch down to his inside. Some of these drivers that have been hanging out deeper in the field now starting to make a late race charge towards the front of the field, but it may be a little bit too late as Jamie Massey, Jeremy Sexton, and Kyle Surratt 1, 2, and 3 out there on the speedway, but there's contact deeper in the field and the caution flag will come back out. Looks like Cameron Stefanski and Jordan Gage both getting tied up here in this one. Heavy contact for both of them. Let's take a look back and see what happens. As again, looks like this 2 ride following in tow behind this 05 and gonna send it deep into corner number 1 and just sends it in there deeper than everybody else, and unfortunately again gets into that 05 ride. And then, oh man, tough break here. Evan Stefanski looked like Douglas Stewart also getting some contact here out of this one. Is, man, this 2 car, Cameron, he's got the speed, he's got a good ride, and unfortunately just using it the wrong way out there on the speedway and taking these big runs, and again just sends it in there a lot deeper than the 05 ride. Having to try to get onto the binders, unfortunately could not get checked up quick enough. Gets into that back bumper, jacks up that rear end, breaks traction there to the rear tires of that 05 ride. That thing just slips right on and around. Hard contact into the inside fence, and you watch him come back up the racetrack. Heavy contact there into the 22 ride of Evan Stefanski. Then you're going to see the 3 machine. He's also going to get collected here in this one. He's going to go around. Pretty solid damage there for Stewart as well as he backs it in to the corner 2 wall. So a few drivers late in this race getting tied together, bringing out another late race caution flag as Gage and Cameron Stefanski both parked down pit road, and we will get ready for another late race restart here in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go, as it may be getting a little bit wild here. As late in this race, under 5 laps left to go, it'll be still single file restarts. So that's a little bit of a blessing in disguise there for that 29 ride as the Team No Love KC Speedworks 29 machine. It is Jamie Massey. In that ride, it is a Lane Phillips throwback paint scheme out there on the racetrack. And for this 29 ride, the Elite Performance Industries machine out there on the racetrack. Then picking up another checker flag here, supporting one of the fellow drivers, competitors, teammates, and friends that he's raced with here on the sim this afternoon, supporting them and running one of their old paint schemes and showing the love out there on the racetrack. And for the Team No Love ride, it definitely doesn't fit, as he's showing lots of love out there, and he's trying to get a little bit of love here as he's trying to pick up this checkered flag. Does not want to see another caution flag, but wants to try to hold all these drivers back there at bay and put another throwback paint scheme ride up and into victory lane. As the lights are off, the official iRacing pace truck, Massey out in front trying to judge this restart, trying to keep these drivers guessing a little bit, and down through 3 and 4. He'll see that green flag flying, quickly sends it down to the bottom side of the racetrack, looking for a big run down the front stretch, and he is going to get it, but right there with them, less than the car length between first and second, as here comes that 2020 ride. A big run through the center of 1 and 2, and he is there. He's on the back bumper, but Massey with a great run out of corner number 2, able to open up that lead once again down into 3. As here comes Kyle Surratt. Here comes that 47 of Marco's pace. Here comes Tyson Pankow trying to race his way back inside the top 3s. He rolls back there in position number 5. Jim Revis and Bryce Dickinson there in 6th and 7th as Jacob Stefanski, Philip Sexton, and Kyle Moyer rounding out our top 10 as Franks works down to the inside of that 11 ride. But it's all Jamie Massey as Massey, a car length and a half out in front here. A couple more opportunities for that 2020 ride to find that extra little bit of speed, trying to get to that back bumper and maybe give him the brotherly shove, maybe a little bump and run out there on the racetrack, leading this race to try to steal this win away from Jamie Massey here this evening. As Massey down through corner 1 and out of corner number 2. He's looking to take us back down the straightaway and looking to try to pick up that white flag and then the checkered flag to follow, as that's what he's hoping for. No late race caution flags here in this one. Does not want to see NASCAR overtime here this evening on the dirt track. Is down out of corner number 4. We will see that white flag fly. So one more time around here for Jamie Massey as the Lane Phillips Team No Love 29 ride looking at trying to put an exclamation mark into the win column here this evening. Is down the back straightaway for the final time. A car length between himself and Jeremy Sexton. One more shot, one more opportunity here for the 2020 ride. He'll send it in deep, washes up the racetrack. He cannot get there as Jamie Massey will pick up the win here this evening in the Dirt Warrior Racing League Wednesday night street fights here at USA International Speedway as Massey picks up the win, sporting that 29 ride, the Lane Phillips paint scheme here this evening, showing the love to his Team No Love teammates from back in the day here this evening, and again able to put this car up and into victory lane. What a run and what a drive right there as Massey picks up the win here this evening. Jeremy Sexton doing a wonderful job, leading a ton of laps here this evening and coming home there in position number 2, and it was Marco's pace, the man from the land down under, coming home in position number 3 here this evening. A pair of the Tommy Gun custom rides up and on the podium here this evening as the White Sunday Design Drafting Cocky Floyd Consulting 47 ride pulls it up onto the podium here, but it's all Jamie Massey. As Massey picks up the win, gets the dub, and pulls himself up and in to the DWR victory lane here this evening, as we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up and into the booth here for their post-race interviews as Jamie and crew waiting patiently down pit side. Let's get them up here into the broadcast booth for their post-race interviews. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what a show, what a race there that these guys just put on for us, man. That was a ton of fun. These guys put on a heck of a battle, heck of a race here this evening, and we'll pull them up and into the booth. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here's our race winner, Jamie Massey. Hey, Jamie, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
I got you.
Jamie, man, what a run, what a drive. Take us back through this one as, again, having to start deep in this field. You're able to just navigate yourself up and through the chaos and a little bit of carnage there early in the race, and slowly but surely pick them off and get yourself back up into contention for this race win as we see a jump inside the top 10 and then into that 5th position, 4th position. You hang out there for quite a little while, then late in this race you start to put that hammer down. You're able to make the move and get that race lead away from Jeremy Sexton before the late race caution flags start to fly, and then you're able to control these restarts, keep them back there at bay, keep that couple car length gap between yourself and Jeremy for all these starts and all these restarts out there on the racetrack, and you'll just drive yourself back up and into victory lane here this evening in another Wednesday night Street Fights race, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you park that beautiful Lane Phillips paint scheme up here in victory lane.
Yeah, man, it's pretty badass. This track's tough to pass on as it is, and my goal was to just try to beat the '05 to the front. Jordan's one of the best on the sim, one of the best in these cars, and I just needed to beat him to the front first, and I think he had some misfortune there. Like I said, there was a big wreck early, like lap 2 or 3, and I barely missed it. And then there was another one later on I missed too. And then I thought our night was over when I think it was either Jim or Kyle one got in the wall and it stacked up the outside lane, and I killed Kyle. I mean, I had literally nowhere to go, but yeah, I hate that for Kyle. And then like I said, we got beat up on a little bit there. They was trying to rough us up a little bit a couple times, but just hard racing, man. Nothing intentional. Jeremy raced me really clean, and Jim said he'd let me sneak in there. Thought I was lane, so maybe it pays off to run some of these other paint schemes and stuff like that. Like I said, man, and this journey isn't about me. It's about I'm trying to. DWR means a lot to me, and this Wednesday night street fight means a lot to me, and I'm just trying to run a different paint scheme every week to give back to the guys who have helped me get to this point in my sim racing career and this point in my life, man. So I got to get back to them. So I want to give, since day one, since I started the team, Lane Phillips was with me, and it's been a great ride, and he's a great friend. So I thought it was pretty fitting to try to drive his car tonight and get it done.
Absolutely, as you drive that car right up and into victory lane, making Lane proud here this evening. As I'm not sure if he was tuning in, but I'm sure he's going to go back and watch this one, especially if he sees the thumbnail or something of the 29 ride. His paint scheme back out there on the racetrack, as I'm sure it's going to surprise him. It's probably been a little while since he's seen that Team No Love 29 ride out there on the racetrack, and here it is once again, battling hard, duking it out there at USA International Speedway and parking it right back up and into victory lane. Jamie, a great run and a solid drive here this evening. A lot of fast cats, a lot of great drivers out there, and you're able to navigate your way to the front of the field, man. Take us back through that battle and how you were able to get it done. Obviously, trying to run some different lanes, that high side, the slider line, and running right down against the berm there on the inside of the racetrack, trying to hang that left front and left rear in that good painter down low and making that move to steal this win away from Jeremy Sexton after he led virtually the first 45, 50 laps of this race.
Yeah, man. Dang, I hated to pass Jim, dude. That was awesome watching Jim battle it out with these guys who are really fast in street stocks. And like I said, Jim was one of my idols coming into this thing. I always wanted to be where he was at when I first started, and I feel like we've accomplished that. And it was just cool seeing him up there. And man, that Kyle Surratt line that I was running, man, he's always kicked my butt with it over the years, and I'd actually forgot about it. And he passed me back during the race running that line, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that line. So all it is you've got to slow the car down, and you've got to kind of drag the brake as you cross the grass going into one, and if the car wants to push, you got to hit it all at the right time. If you don't, the car will push up the racetrack. And even leading a couple of times, I missed it. It's a really hard line, and there's some people that are really good at it, and Kyle Surratt's one of them. And thankfully, he showed it to me there, or he'd have probably won the race. And I just, I got back by him, beat him to it, and we got to the lead there. And I hated the cautions, man. We were kind of pulling away a little bit, and I kind of wanted to see it go green. And that line is very dominant if you can run it right. And yeah, I had a blast, man. It's fun racing with these guys, and I enjoy it. Like I said, I was working at the race shop on my RL car, and I was like, boys, I got to go. I got to get home. It's at USA, one of my favorite tracks, and it's DWR, so I got to be there.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad that you could make it and obviously putting on a heck of a show here this evening for all the fans in the stands. Jamie, congratulations on the race win here this evening. Brother, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance again out there on the racetrack?
Like I say every week, man, I'm just thankful to be able to do these interviews with you, and there's a lot of guys behind making that possible. Um, First and foremost, everybody from the Dickinsons, man, they're great to me. Mama Bear, uh, Papa Mike, Bryce, Ty, everybody, all the Dickinsons, man, they do a lot for me on and off the sim, and I'm thankful for them. I'm thankful for all my guys over at H&L. Like I said, I haven't been able to run a lot lately with my RL stuff going on, so I've been concentrating on that. And I literally only run DWR, and there happened to be a money race last night that somebody talked me into running, so I ended up running it. And like I said, man, it's just fun to get on here and enjoy racing with the guys that I grew up racing on this sim with. So I'm thankful for them and Jim and all of y'all for putting this deal on, man. And let's keep it going. I probably won't be able to hit them all, but I enjoy it when I can.
Absolutely, brother, and we always enjoy it when we see it out there on the racetrack. Jamie, congratulations on the win again here this evening, and hopefully we'll see you back out there next Wednesday and right back up here in the broadcast booth.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for the number 29 ride here this evening. It was Jamie Massey parking himself up and into victory lane as we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher, the 2020 ride of Jeremy Saxon. Jeremy coming home here in position number 2. Let's pull him up and in to the broadcast booth. Hey, Jeremy, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jeremy, man, another strong run, another great race here for you in this one, man, and it came down to more of just driving out there on the Speedway tonight. It wasn't, your race didn't get lost affected by a wreck or anything else, and you were able to duke it out there with Jamie Massey and try to find a way back around him late in this one. Unfortunately, you just couldn't quite find enough to get back around that 29 ride here tonight, but man, a heck of a run, heck of a performance, leading so many laps throughout this race, and looking like potentially our race winner until that 29 ride snuck up there and stole this one away from you.
Yeah, was hoping I could hold on, but it's tough sometimes. I think I used my stuff up a little early there and thought I had something on the bottom late, and once I showed it to him, he moved down there, and then we was just tit for tat, and I ended up clipping the inside wall and messed myself up a little bit. But that's part of it. He's a veteran at this and very good, so nothing to hang my head about for sure.
Definitely never a bad night when the only car that beats you out there, which Jamie Massey is. He's able to jump up, take this win, but you keep everyone else back there behind you as you park that 2020 ride back up here onto the podium, man. You've been having some great runs, some very strong performances the last week or so, man. It's got to feel good having that momentum, feeling good out there behind the wheel, and having these great performances to back it up.
Yeah, most definitely, man. It's definitely fun being able to compete up front, and I just owe it to all my guys that we're on here every night practicing and making laps. And Marcos is new with us, and me and him spend hours every day just running practices and different things, trying to build each other up. And JC, of course, helps a ton. Philip, Jacob, just all those guys. Jordan Gage, Ethan Johnson. Can't thank those guys enough.
Absolutely. It takes a whole community to help you out, and obviously making these great moves and changes and all the practices and finding all the speed out of your car, and it's working here lately, man, as this thing has been a rocket ship, and you've been right there in contention for a lot of wins over the last few weeks. And obviously getting the last one there Friday night, now coming home with another second place here this evening. And unfortunately, I won't be here anymore for the Friday night show, so it'll be next Wednesday when we'll get another opportunity to see you try to pick up another checkered flag out there on the racetrack. But Jeremy, a solid run, a great drive again here this evening out of that 2020 ride, and you park it up here on the podium here tonight, man. Who would you like to thank? Who else would you like to thank here this evening for such a strong performance out there on the racetrack?
First and foremost, God, because without him, we couldn't do any of this stuff, and blessed to be able to do this as a hobby and meet new friends all over the country. My wife for dealing with me. on here all the time. My son Jacob, JC Floyd, that's helped us tremendously. Like I said, Marcos is new to the team. Me and him have really clicked pretty well and spent a lot of time together. Jordan, Ethan, Seth, my buddy Brian, Derek Rice. I'm sure I'm missing some people, but everybody in our Discord that races, the DWR guys, you for the broadcast. This is a really fun deal, and to have a server full of cars really speaks volumes for what they're doing. And want to give a shout out to Rivas. Man, he was on rails tonight. He was pushing me around for a long time. I was really glad to see him run well.
Yeah, absolutely. Always good to see Jim up there and contending and battling for race leads and wins and everything else. And yeah, Jackie messaged me earlier and said that it's been 7 years of him running the DWRL league and being a part of the series and everything else. So this was his 7th year anniversary. I mean, it would have been a amazing race for him to win here tonight because he's been around the scene for, I want to say, over 20 years now in different leagues and being a part of the DWRL and everything else, man. Jim has been around for a long time, so to have him right there duking it out with you had to feel really, really good here on his anniversary of being a part of the dirt iRacing community.
Yeah, definitely, man. He's been around a minute. That's impressive. And also Taylor Pratt for my wraps, Tommy Gunn. He's always keeping me looking good out here.
Yeah, Pratt keeps putting out some amazing paint schemes. A lot of beautiful race cars out there with that Tommy Gunn Customs logo on the side of it, man, as Jeremy park it right up here into the podium here at USA International Speedway. Congratulations again on the 2nd place run, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the Speedway next Wednesday.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 2nd place finisher, Jeremy Sexton. Jeremy coming home there in position number 2. Very solid run, very good race there for that 2020 ride, as we'll get ready now to pull in our 3rd place finisher, the driver from the land down under. It is the 47 of Marcos Pace. Marcos coming home here in 3rd. Let's get him up here into the booth. Hey, Marcos, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, you got me.
Marcos, man, another great run, another great race for you here this evening as you park that 47 ride again up and onto the podium here this evening in another DWRL race this evening, man. Take us back through this one. Obviously, navigating your way through the field, racing your way up to the front of the pack here, and then late in it, making some big moves, passing some big names out there on the racetrack to join us up here in the broadcast booth again here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely butchered qualifying. Lon actually had to keep me as a provisional because I was that bad. But yeah, thanks to him for keeping me. Started 21st, and then there was a wreck. I think there was a couple of wrecks that first lap, and yeah, I gained about 10 spots. I went from 21st to 9th, like in one lap. It was crazy after all those wrecks. Yeah, got a bit lucky that first lap, and then yeah, restarted 9th, and then we went. I think we had another couple of yellows, but once we got green again and had that really long green flag stint, that was really good. Good that everyone kept it clean and we had a good green flag run. A lot of the guys were running the top because it was quick, and I knew it was quick, but I was just in my own little bubble between Jordan Gage and Jacob Sexton, and like I had a buffer to them both ends, and I wasn't chasing Jordan and I wasn't falling back to Jacob, so I was just putting around on the bottom, just trying to save tyres until the end, and in case a caution come out, and if it didn't, then that was where I was going to finish. But yeah, yellow came out. Not sure how many laps to go, but yeah, that yellow came out. I think it was the Jordan and Stefanski yellow. Yeah, they bring that one out, and then got up to 7th because those two went to the back for it. Yeah, restarted 7th, and then just those tyres I saved must have come in pretty handy because the last couple of restarts before the checkered, like I was pulling off the bottom of the corner. Like, man, my car felt so good in those last 10 laps. Like I didn't feel like I had the car to win, beat Jeremy or Jamie. Credit to those guys as well, but I really feel like I maximized the most out of what I had. Like I'm really happy with podium tonight, especially with the caliber of drivers that we've got here tonight. Man, the SOF of this would be crazy, but yeah, no, really strong field tonight, and really happy with my performance. And Jeremy's, he's been doing really well lately. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just between the top three here this evening, Jamie, Jeremy, and yourself, rounding out probably around a 7,000 I rating there between the three of you, and that just shows and proves how talented and amazing all these drivers are out there on the racetrack, and how tough the competition is. And when you can park yourself up here into a podium and be behind two of those guys, man, is always a good day in the office. Always a good day out there on the racetrack. As Marcos, again, you park it up here on the podium, man. You've been making a thing of it lately as you've been getting this momentum. That Cocky Floyd Consulting number 47 ride keeps finding more and more speed, and you keep getting these great runs. I'm sure without a doubt one of these nights we'll find you up here in victory lane, man. And I thought tonight for a while there, as you said, you're starting to make some moves there late in this race through those caution flags and just clicking them off and pulling forward. I thought for a second there maybe if we saw a couple more yellows that you were going to have an opportunity to potentially win this race.
Yeah, I thought about it a couple of laps. Like I thought I had the tyres to really get up there and fight Jamie and Jeremy. I thought I had a better car than Jeremy, but after that final restart came out, he got in his groove and he sort of sat in behind Jamie, and yeah, I just stayed back and held third. I couldn't get any further up, but yeah, no, really happy with my consistency lately. Like the last 5 DWR races I've run, I've been in the top 4, so I'm incredibly proud of my consistency lately, and credit to the Cocky Floyd boys, Jeremy, for getting on with me every night, and just, yeah, him and me have been really well since I've come over. Yeah, thank you to JC Floyd, Ethan Johnson, Jacob and Philip Sexton, and yeah, all the other Cocky Floyd boys that make this happen. DWR guys for putting this on 3 times a week. You guys are awesome. You for broadcasting Wednesday nights. I know you're not doing Friday nights anymore, but really thankful to have you on Wednesday nights still. So thank you for that. And yeah, thanks for the drivers for coming out and doing this every week. Like it's awesome to race against people, like just to have a field like this skilled and this competitive once a week, even just once a week. Like it's so awesome to have that experience, and yeah, just like to thank everybody that puts this on.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Marcos, another great run, another solid drive out there on the racetrack for you here tonight, man. Congrats on the 3rd place finish, and hopefully next Wednesday we'll see you right back up here, maybe a couple spots better and up in victory lane yourself.
I hope so. Hopefully I'll catch you again next week.
Eddie Marcos, enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 3rd place finisher here this evening. Marcos Pace coming home there in position number 3 here this evening. Heck of a run, heck of a drive there for that 47 machine, up 18 positions and up inside our podium here this evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in, showing the love and enjoying the racing action and the battling out there on the Speedway here this evening. Unfortunately, it has come to a close. Huge shout out there to Jamie Massey on the win, and the rest of these competitors for putting on an absolutely amazing show for us here this evening. But thank y'all as well for watching as Bad Brad Racing, my boy Brad, coming in, showing the big love here in this one, inviting his viewers to come and join the stream. I appreciate that, Brad, coming in, showing the love here in this one, inviting your amazing viewers over here to the stream this afternoon. We can't thank you enough for that, and showing the love here in this one. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, showing the love, and joining the action here this evening. Unfortunately, that is going to do it for us tonight here out on the racetrack. Is Ross Harold. What's good, Ross? Ross coming in with that like on the stream. My boy Neil Simmons also coming in with that like as well on the broadcast. Shout out there to Neil. Shout out to Ross coming in showing the love here this evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. All the likes, the comments, the shares, any of our star centers, my boy Josh Ely, my boy Justin Johnson, and Adam Oxley coming in showing the big love over there on Facebook, and everyone else tuning in and showing the love here throughout the evening, man. We can't thank you guys enough. But we'll see you guys back in here tomorrow night for some more amazing racing action. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all back here in the next one. Peace and love, baby. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
Roaring engines rip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oh, slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. This is raw real. Roaring engines rip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oh, slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man. Give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races, blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, hard turns, savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. This is raw real.